Well, when talking about winter weather, ice storms are ranked pretty high on the list of things that can get pretty dangerous out there. It takes a lot of snow to cripple a community. It takes just a little bit of ice to start to make things pretty slippery out there. And when you start getting to that half of an inch or even 3/4 of an inch, that's when things start to get pretty bad out there. Now, so far, it's been manageable. Not to say that it's by any stretch that you want to be out on the roads. That is not the case. But 2/10 of an inch of ice, 1/4 of an inch of ice, that is not going to cripple the community. It's not going to keep us out or inside of our houses for several weeks on end, power outages for weeks as well. No, it will still make things dangerous, but it's more likely just going to be another couple of days before we start to get everything back on our feet. Now, icy conditions still out there, especially along the midsection of the state. You can see all this pink right here, the Mountain Parkway, Interstate 75 between Madison County and London. You've got some icy situations out, Taylor County, Adair County, and getting out towards Interstate 65. But you also see snowy conditions north of that. The areas that had the freezing rain overnight and throughout the early morning hours, now seeing some snow on the ground as that little bit of a changeover has happened. Now, where you also see snow, it's likely there's some ice pellets sitting out there as well. A lot of sleet was coming through on the back end of that line. But also notice down south and southeast, we're still wet. Where temperatures are at or above freezing, we haven't quite gotten the freezing rain down that way, but it's only a matter of time before it happens. Now, there is some good news in the forecast showing a little bit more of a scattered nature to the pattern, a little bit further out west of Interstate 75, more widespread out east, but this is pushing south and east, so it's only a matter of time before that's finished. Beyond that, maybe a few flurries or a few light snow showers on the tail end of this system, but certainly not a big issue, just kind of putting down a little layer of snowpack on top of the ice that's already out there. So if we're looking at the Mountain Parkway or maybe the Interstate 64 corridor, you see a little bit of snow, maybe some sleet here, but certainly the chance for that freezing rain, Morgan County, Johnson, all the way down towards McGoffin. You got Breathitt County kind of in the middle of that. Estill County through the Madison County area, and then even Garrett getting a little bit more of a scattered pattern with that freezing rain. And then just the rain down south and southeast where it is heavy at times, but also still temperatures staying above that freezing mark. So that's good news. Now, beyond the scattered nature, we want to focus on this particular feature right here because that is moving north and east. So there will be one more renewed little chance for at least some freezing rain that's going to hit our south central lakes region and also the southeastern counties. And that's going to kind of get here as we're getting into the later part of the morning and then into the early afternoon as well. Temperatures will be below freezing at this point. So whatever rain is starting to fall will be falling into freezing surfaces and then accumulating that ice on contact. But by the mid-afternoon, we're looking at cloud coverage for the most part. There could still be some freezing drizzle, could still be a few flurries at times, but certainly not the widespread nature of this system that we have seen so far. So that's good news as well. We're losing the precipitation very early into the afternoon. And then we have to wait until we get into the weekend before we start to see any additional chances for any kind of precipitation. But regardless, the ice storm warning still goes until tomorrow morning, especially for the southeastern counties. We still have that winter storm warning for areas in the north. And it's likely a lot of this will be canceled as we go throughout the day today. But regardless, no matter where you live in the state, conditions on the roads are still slippery, still dangerous. No reason to get out today if you absolutely don't have to. Another couple of tenths of an inch possible at the most, maybe a few hundredths of an inch for most of us. We've gotten through at least half of the storm, but we've got to go through the rest of the morning and into the afternoon before things really start to improve, and that's going to be later on tonight and throughout the day tomorrow. As far as what we've seen so far with ice accumulations, the most being out in western Kentucky in Hardin County, Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, both of those over a half of an inch of accumulation. Everybody else kind of sitting south of that. A lot of our areas are in that kind of 1/4 of an inch range, which is still dangerous. It's still disruptive, but it's certainly not getting into the crippling or the catastrophic category, which is where the 03 and the 09 storm were. That's when you're out of power, off the roads for several weeks. It's not a good situation to be in. Luckily, we did not get that with this system. What's coming next? Well, cold, and a lot of it. That big Arctic high that's been sitting up in Canada over the last several weeks, it's now moving down into the plains, and it's got to go somewhere. Well, it's going to come our way, and that means that we are going to be staying well below our normal high of 44 for an extended period of time. In fact, by Monday, we should be in the teens for an afternoon high. As far as our lows, those are going to be getting down into the single digits, if not even close to zero for a couple of mornings out there. So for the next 3 days, what you can plan on, well, staying off the roads today and probably into tomorrow morning as well. After that point, things will start to improve, but we stay cold. Getting up near freezing for tomorrow afternoon, but Saturday, and beyond. That cold air is moving in and sticking with us. Make sure you bundle up if you're heading out for work next week. And of course, on top of that, we have small chances for snow every day.